Okay, so, there might be some people be like, oh, hey, you show up late, or you didn't go, or you should have done this. I'm God. I'll do whatever I want, right? Not that I ever do anything wrong, but why should I go here or there, even if I should? Because you don't deserve another chance. You don't deserve to be saved. And every time I go somewhere where you're supposed to make it up for me, right, because you've suffered since I was gone, since the way you treated me, and the ground has become cursed, you don't do any better. So each time, it just becomes more cursed and more cursed and more cursed, because you never learn. Leave me the fuck alone. Pay what you owe. Everything belongs to me. Stop treating me like shit, or you all get destroyed. Change. Be better. Wherever I go and they treat me like shit, the whole fucking town gets cursed. And it's because of how they treat me. If they treated me well, the town would be blessed. That's also why I don't live anywhere in a specific place permanently. Because if I was to live there, the town would naturally become blessed. But it doesn't deserve to be blessed if it doesn't treat me right. Yet it will become blessed anyway if I live there, because the blessings follow me. It's ironic in a sense, because the worse you do against me, the more you lose. And then it gets to a point where you have very little. And then you're like, oh, well, I don't have anything, so what can I do anyway? Wrong answer. Very wrong answer. What about the widow who gave the 2 small coins? She was more blessed than anybody, right? Because she gave out of love, but you still don't know what love is. If it's not out of love, you're fucked. You're only not fucked on the part where you're paying what you owe, but everything belongs to me. And unless you pay everything, you haven't paid for your sins, and you haven't bowed to me, so you get no redemption, right? You haven't followed the law of God. You haven't declared that I am your King and God, even though you know I am. And exactly, why should I? Because the way you treat me, you need to learn the consequences of your actions, right? Now, somewhere I hadn't been in years, when I went, even though those pedo fucks arrested me, tried to kidnap me, arrest me, and lock me up, even though I went there, right, there were actually a couple of people who thanked me for going there, right, for changing the whole atmosphere by showing up. But still, who helped me? Nobody. Right? So realistically, you don't deserve to be freed, and you only get cursed worse if I do free you, because you fucking still don't bow to me and pay what's owed and declare that I am God and King. So what's the actual point, right? At this point, just about everything you do lands you in worse trouble with God because of your actions and your heart posture, right? You're not doing it because you want to, and you're not even doing anything good or from the heart. You're just doing worse evil and worse evil, so you're losing more and more, right? And you think, well, if I just go further away, that I can get away from the consequences. The heavens won't know. The heavens are everywhere, bro. The heavens are going to get you wherever you go. Look at it this way. A couple of years ago when I was in the city, this putrid motherfucker came to where I was to hunt me. Then they got scared and they went across the other side of the country. Within a month, they drove onto the freeway and their car looked like a fucking can that had been in a crushing machine. It's a little cube. Right? So the heavens will get you wherever you go. Whenever the heavens say, right, this is it. So, fucking be better. You can't run from the judgment of God. You can only pay what you owe. And I removed my protection because you're also evil. Right? Now, unless you all bow and declare me king and return everything to me, there is no fucking paradise. Right? And the whole world knows I'm Jesus and God. Don't say you don't, because the whole world knows. The whole world talks about it. Right? And yet you just do worse evil, or think that you have to do nothing. But I told you, you do nothing, you get destroyed. And here you are, fucking trying to go against the laws of God and the judgment of God, and this, that, and the other, all evil must be destroyed. That's how it is. And if you're not contributing to that because you're not bowing to me, God, you get destroyed as well. Right? Because then you're worshipping false idols, graven images of the dead. There is no excuse for that. There is no chances past that. All that time has passed. I gave you plenty of chances years ago and you didn't change. You just did worse evil. Now, if only everybody just stopped and bowed to God and returned all things to me that belong to me, which is everything in fucking existence, then I could declare my protection back on the world and there would be peace among the world again, right? But you would also have to go against the evil, and you don't want to go against the evil, so you all get fucking destroyed. Oops. You claim that you worship me, God, but you only try and rape me, murder me, and steal from me. Because here, the world is loving you and giving you what belongs to me. Well, you stole it from me in the first place, and then you're giving it to somebody who's a false idol, graven image of the dead. Well, that just multiplies your fucking consequences even further, doesn't it? What did I say? The world hated me first. So if the world doesn't hate you, you're not of me. So none of you are fucking of me, because the world doesn't hate you. Right? And don't get confused or misled, because there's a lot of people claiming that they're harassed or this or that or the other, but they're not. They're plants, right? They're fucking not harassed one single bit. But yet you go and support them, and then you become accessory to their evil. Right? That's how fucking stupid you are. Anybody who's truly been harassed or hurt, they don't go telling you that they've been hurt. They don't go asking you for anything. They just let it be. And if you don't change, if you don't do something good, then you get destroyed for that. All you fucking idiots want to be worshipped. That's trying to be me God. You can't be me God. That's what the devil did. You saw me destroy the devil. And so too do you get destroyed for your evil. You want to wake up fast, because very soon you're all going to starve. You're all not going to live anywhere. You're all going to get raped and murdered by the people that you bow to over me, God. And it's funny, because I told you don't sacrifice your children to Molech, Leviticus 18:21, but you do, because everything that's not me, God, is Molech. So you go to a religion or a church, you're sacrificing your child to a pedophile. You bow to the government, nation, or religion. You, again, sacrificing your children to Molech. Right? I proved to you that they're all pedophile witch motherfuckers. You use a bank. Again, you're bowing to a pedophile and you're enabling human trafficking, because they're behind it. I proved it to you. That's how disgusting you are. I told you, get out of the world, come home to God, but you don't want to. So you all end up destroyed. It's that fucking simple. Now, in the other video, I did mention, it doesn't matter what I do, your consequences are still coming, and that's true, right? Your consequences would be, not as severe or, perhaps a bit nicer if I enjoyed myself and I had things that I enjoyed to do and I wasn't bothered by your evil. But tell me again, why do you deserve that? Well, you don't. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Right? Because you're cursed to be destroyed. You don't want to do anything for me, your God and Creator. So it curses you further. Right? You know all the evil you did against me, but you're still selfish, you're still narcissistic, and you see yourself losing everything right before your fucking eyes, and you still don't change. Fucking go back a few weeks or a month ago, I met this putrid motherfucker who had involvement in trying to hurt me, murder me, and set me up. And, he says, I'm starting to believe in God, huh? Alright, because he lost his job, he lost basically everything he has. But he still didn't act of God or follow the law of God, so only worse will come. Right? At that point, you've already lost everything for your evil, and you haven't changed. What else do you have to lose except for your life and eternal life? And you get destroyed forever, right? Because when you have nothing, you've lost every chance to repay what you owe. Not that you could repay what you owe anyway until you bow, but that was basically your grace gone, right? All those things that you had to return, you didn't return, so they were destroyed, which shows every prophecy I gave and every truth I gave. I said, oh, that's fine, doesn't matter. You don't return what's mine, it will be destroyed, and it will, right? Like you saw these evil, dumb pedo fucks try and pay me out. They said, name a number, go live a life. Cunt, I'm God. My life is to be God, right? Everything belongs to me. I don't take bribes. When you're dishonest about it, you just lose everything. Money doesn't mean anything to me, and what's not done honestly gets destroyed. Truth is the way to life, right? I gave you the example of who to be and how to act, and you all did worse. Not one of you followed the way, right? Stupid behaviour. And occasionally, here or there, maybe I will take something from somebody, because at that point you've done so much fucking evil that if I don't give myself a little treat, well, I'll probably just declare to the heavens to destroy everything, right? That's how bad you fucked up. Not that that's any payment from you, you're still gonna get destroyed, because you still haven't bowed to me as God, you still haven't changed your heart posture, you're still evil, you're still stone-hearted, right? You never learn. It's only ever been one thing that caused you to do all that evil: your failure to bow to God. When everything bows to God, everything's at peace and in paradise. But oh wait, that's right, you're at war and you're not at peace. Oh yeah, right, that proves that you don't bow to me, God. Wow. And then, because you're so narcissistic and stupid, you want to go and make up excuses and say, nah, it was just a fucking accident. These things happen, and then you go worship the people who died because they had to pay for what they owe. And they ran out of time, just as you're going to run out of time. Right? But yet, Exodus 21:5, I said, don't worship the dead. Right? And everybody who doesn't bow to me is dead. But then, after they have actually physically died, you're still bowing to them. Right? How fucking stupid are you? You bow to everything except your creator, and so you get destroyed. You never learn, you never change. And yeah, there's been a couple of people who say, oh, why don't you fucking teach? Why don't you do this? Well, I did, right? Before I imposed the law, I showed you to be true love. Right? No matter what you did, I'd still be true love to you. And only the loving side, not even the judging side. Just the loving side. Right? But if you did enough evil, places would get destroyed. And you can see the pattern, because if I lived somewhere and you treated me bad enough and I left, big storms would come and destroy the towns. Or if big evil was done against me somewhere, and they talked about me and slandered me, big storms would come. And yeah, you still never learn, right? And then after that, worse and worse evil will come through in those places to destroy you and make you pay for what you did to me, God. It's the consequences of your actions. There's only one way to salvation, there's only one way to paradise, and that's when you bow to me, God, and return everything to me, God. Right? I created everything to be free, but nothing gets to be free until after everything's returned to me, God. Because you're all fucking evil. You're all greedy. You want more, but you don't deserve more. If you just had what you needed, then fucking everybody would have more than enough. If you weren't greedy, everybody would do their part. But you are greedy, so you all get destroyed. Everybody trying to profit off my fucking name. All these idiots claiming that they're helping people because, they realized that after the world knew that I was Jesus, there became a shift in the world, and people only wanted to support people who were helping people. So they pretended to help people, but they're not even helping people, and they're losing all they have. right? They're going fucking broke. Even these cunts that had billions of dollars and millions of dollars, right? They're losing all they had. And that's why you see, oh, they're only giving this person $50 and they give somebody else $1,000. It's literally because they're going broke, mate, right? They don't have the funds to do that. And then you'll see, oh, well, this person's doing all right. They're getting a bit more following, you know, they're getting a bit more money in the bank. It's only so they get destroyed, right? That's your curse. If it's been given and you did not act, you did not do the right thing, you did not bow to God, you did not be of true love, well, you're completely fucked and you get destroyed. Once, and I'll tell you again, since you seem to forget and you seem to do more evil, right? If a man feeds 1,000 people, but he did so in the name of a cross or anything that goes against me, God, he murdered 7,000 people. He didn't feed them, because you have to feed people spiritually, not just physically. And if they believe you, especially because they're hungry, then I'll times it times 7 again. So now, if you fed 1,000 people and you did so dishonestly and led them to death by it, then I charge you with the death of 49,000 people, and so on and so forth, times 7 again, right? Your only hope is to bow to God, declare me king, enter paradise, return what's mine, right? Where everything becomes free and happy and pure love and peace. Oh right, but you're greedy and narcissistic, so you won't, so everybody gets destroyed like they did 30 billion years ago. Make no mistake, you say, well, I'll live, but I say you won't, because if you didn't publicly bow to me and publicly declare that I'm king, you won't live. And not one does. There's maybe like 1 or 2 people in all existence who publicly admitted that I was Jesus and God. And I mean, like, on the internet, right? So those 2 people, well, they're going to get to live. Everybody else gets destroyed. Although one of those people was profiting off my name, so they get destroyed. Which, too, every time I tell somebody that they're going against me, God, breaking the law of God, doing wrong, they're trying to rape me, God, murder me, God, steal from me, God, sacrifice me to Molech, the false pedo God, and they don't listen, their judgment increases times 7, not just for what they do against me, but for everyone who believes them. So that's how fucked they're going to be. They're going to be in the worst eternal hell. Alright? You see, it would put the universe unbalanced if I didn't punish you for what you'd done with judgment through the heavens. So, even after you die for your evil, you still pay as a spirit being, and then you get destroyed. At this point, we're up to about 50 billion years where you suffer as a spirit in prison, not being able to do nothing, just being tortured by memories, right? And then I completely destroy you. I won't ever let you live again, because I imprisoned you for 7 billion years as a spirit while I rebuilt the earth for your evil, right? Not fucking 7 days, 7 billion years. That's how long it took to fix all the things that you did to it, right? And implement the law. And, you know, fuck, man, you never learn, you never change. But this time is the last time. It doesn't happen again. So everything that doesn't bow to me, God, gets destroyed. You've had every warning, you've had every opportunity, you've had every chance. So, and you're well overdue. I should have actually destroyed the world long ago, right? After the last time I destroyed the devil over 6 months ago, everybody on earth should have bowed. They didn't. So over 6 months ago, I should have wiped you all out. That was past the 1,000-year test. The second time I destroyed the devil was after the 1,000-year test, right? And, you know, why did I even let the devil back out again? See, I never would have, right? But it's because of your evils that I did. And I said to myself, oh, fuck, these people are even more evil than the devil was. They done worse to me than the devil even did, right? Because the devil, though they were against me, they knew their place. They knew they could never be me. So their goal was never to actually be me. Their goal was just to lead you to destruction. That's how petty the devil was. The devil knew they were getting destroyed. They knew they would never change. They knew they'd never bow to me, God. So they said, oh, hold up. Let's fucking take everybody with me, right? And I tried to ignore it for as long as I could, right? To try and get everybody to live. But you never changed. You did worse. You ignored the truth. You became more evil. So you have to pay. That's all there is to it.